Your nervous system is the foundation of everything. Whether you're aware of it or not, your nervous system is running a huge part of your life. It influences how safe you feel, how much energy you have, how you react under stress, how you deal with emotions, how you handle conflict, how easy or hard it feels to make decisions. And most people have never been taught this. They've been taught to think positively. They've been taught to control themselves. They've been taught to push through, be strong, not complain. But no one ever explained that if your nervous system is overwhelmed, none of that really works. So people keep trying harder. They read more books, they do more courses, they analyze themselves more. They understand their patterns perfectly and still find themselves reacting, freezing, shutting down, feeling stuck. And then they think, what is wrong with me? Usually nothing. What's happening is much simpler. They're trying to change their life from a system that doesn't feel safe. Your nervous system has one main job: not happiness, not success, not fulfillment. Survival. It constantly asks one basic question: am I safe right now? And it doesn't care whether the threat is real or imagined. It reacts to perception. That means deadlines, emotional pressure, conflict, expectations, uncertainty, rejection, money stress, relationship stress. All of that can activate the same response as physical danger. When your nervous system perceives stress, it shifts into survival mode, and survival mode changes everything. Your body tightens, your breathing becomes shallow, your thoughts speed up, your focus narrows. From that state, your system is not interested in growth or long-term change. It just wants to get through the moment. This is where a lot of people live most of the time. Not because something terrible is happening right now, but because their system never really learned how to come back to neutral. So even on a normal day, they're already slightly tense, already bracing, already tired, already alert. And from there, life starts to feel heavy. Simple things feel complicated. Decisions feel exhausting. Emotions feel overwhelming. Relationships feel demanding. And again, this is not because you're weak, it's because your system is overloaded. When your nervous system is dysregulated, you don't have much access to choice. You don't pause and think clearly. You react. You say things you later regret. You pull away when you actually want closeness. You overthink instead of acting. You stay stuck because moving feels like too much. People often say, I know what I should do, but I just can't. That sentence alone tells you everything. Knowing is not the problem. Capacity is, and capacity depends on your nervous system. A system that feels unsafe will always choose familiarity over possibility, even if that familiarity hurts. That's why people stay in patterns they've outgrown. That's why change feels scary even when it's wanted. That's why opportunities can feel like pressure instead of excitement. Your system isn't asking, is this good for my future? It's asking, will this overload me? So when people try to jump straight into responsibility, manifestation, or self-leadership without regulation, it often backfires. Responsibility without regulation feels like blame. It feels like, it's all on me. I should be able to handle this. I need to get myself together. That doesn't empower the system. It overwhelms it even more. And then people either push harder or collapse. Neither leads to real change. This is why regulation comes first, not because regulation is the goal, but because regulation is the ground, the basis, the fundament. When your nervous system is regulated, very practical things change. Your thoughts slow down. You can feel emotions without being swallowed by them. You can sit with uncertainty without panicking. You can hear feedback without going into defense. You notice you don't lose your edge, that you actually gain stability. From this place, responsibility starts to feel completely different. It no longer feels heavy, it feels available. You can actually choose. You can notice a reaction and pause. You can feel discomfort and stay present. You can decide how you want to respond instead of being driven by impulse. You notice you are in the eye of the storm, and in the eye of the storm, it is quiet. This is what people often confuse with willpower, but it's not willpower. It's nervous system capacity. And this is also why manifestation and mindset work often don't land for people, not because the ideas are wrong, but because a dysregulated system cannot hold them. You can repeat affirmations all day, but if your body is tense and bracing, the message doesn't sink in. You can visualize a new future, but if your system is overwhelmed, it will pull you back to what feels familiar. So if you've ever felt frustrated with a personal development, if you've ever felt tired of working on yourself, if you've ever felt like you were doing everything right but still felt tense or stuck, this might be why. You were never missing discipline. You were never missing insight. You were missing safety. And safety is nothing you force. It's something your system learns over time. That's why today is not about changing anything. We're not fixing you. We're not analyzing you. We're not pushing you forward. We're just starting with understanding. Understanding how your system works, understanding why certain reactions happen, understanding that many of your struggles make sense. Because once your nervous system feels safer, everything else you've been trying to do becomes easier. Not overnight, not magically, but steadily, step by step. From here, responsibility becomes empowering instead of overwhelming. Choice becomes possible instead of exhausting. Change becomes realistic instead of theoretical. And this is where real transformation actually starts. Not in effort, not in pressure, but in capacity. And this is also why so many people feel confused about themselves. They say things like, I used to be motivated, now I'm not. I know what I want, but I can't access it. I feel lazy, stuck, blocked. And they immediately judge themselves. They think they have lost discipline, lost drive, lost clarity, but very often nothing is lost. Their system is just tired. And a tired nervous system doesn't feel inspired, it doesn't feel motivated, it doesn't feel visionary, it feels cautious. So instead of asking, what's wrong with me? A much more helpful question is, what does my system need right now to feel safer? Because when safety increases, energy returns. Not forced energy, natural energy. The kind of energy that comes with clarity. The kind that makes action feel possible again. This is also why people often confuse regulation with avoidance. They think, if I slow down, I'll get stuck. If I don't push myself, nothing will happen. If I rest, I'll lose momentum. But regulation doesn't mean stopping your life. It means changing how you move through it. A regulated nervous system doesn't make you passive, it makes you precise. You don't waste energy on internal battles. You don't fight yourself all day. You don't need to hype yourself up or talk yourself into things constantly. You act from clarity instead of pressure, and that's a completely different quality of action. This is where confidence actually comes from. Not from forcing yourself to feel confident, but from knowing you can handle what arises. Because your system isn't constantly overwhelmed anymore. You trust yourself more, not because everything is perfect, but because you're not abandoning yourself internally. And this changes how you experience life in very subtle but powerful ways. You're less reactive in conversations. You recover faster after stress. You don't spiral as deeply. You don't personalize everything. You start to feel more choice in moments where before you felt trapped. That's regulation working in real life. And this is why I want to be very clear about something. Regulation is not the opposite of growth, it's the prerequisite for growth. Without it, change feels threatening. With it, change feels possible. So if you take anything from this, let it be this. You don't need to push yourself into becoming someone else. You need to create the internal conditions where the version of you that already exists can actually come online. That's what nervous system work is really about. Not fixing, not forcing, not becoming better, but creating enough internal safety for your true capacity to show itself. And from there, everything you've been trying to do starts to make sense.